First, go to the configuration panel and select Exception Mail Alert as the type. This ensures the system sends an email whenever an exception occurs. Then, enter the email IDs of the users who should receive these alerts, making sure all required recipients are added. Once the configuration is complete, we proceed to upload a new document into the system. After the upload is finished, we move to the Contracts tab to check whether the document appears in the list. In this case, the document is not visible under Contracts, which indicates that the system has encountered an issue while trying to process it. To understand the reason behind this, we open the uploaded document and review it carefully. The system highlights that there are 4 mandatory metadata fields that must be filled in before the document can progress further. When we examine the details, we notice that some of these required fields are incomplete, missing entirely, or not entered in the correct format. Because these essential fields are not properly filled, the system cannot validate the document. As a result, it remains unprocessed and does not show up in the contract list. This review step helps us clearly identify that the missing or invalid metadata is the root cause of the issue. It also ensures that we know exactly what needs to be corrected so the document can flow through the system without any exceptions. After reviewing the document, we move to the Workflow tab to see how the system has handled it. In the Exception Workflow section, we can now see the uploaded document listed, indicating it has been flagged as an exception. And the uploaded file was there. When we open the Reason section, it shows metadata extraction failed, invalid or empty metadata. This means the system couldn't read the required metadata because it was missing or incorrect. To close this exception, we simply add a comment explaining the reason for closing the document. After entering the comment, the exception is then closed successfully. First, we upload a document in the application. Once the upload is finished and processed, we can move to the next step to check if the document appears in the right section. In this document, we can see that most of the mandatory fields, the client name, the contract entity name, and then for the third mandatory one we scroll down, and here we find the start date entered correctly. However, the end date is missing, and since it is also a required field, the document cannot move forward until this information is added. And now, in the Contracts tab, the document appears correctly. You can also see that the count in total files received has increased, confirming that the file has been successfully added. We also received an exception mail about a missing mandatory field. When we checked the details, the exception clearly mentioned the file name and that the end date was missing, which is why the document was flagged. Next, we move to the Workflow tab to correct the issue. Under the Exceptional Workflow section, we can see the document listed there because it was flagged due to the missing end date. To fix this, we click on the Edit option available on the right side of the document. Once the Edit panel opens, we enter the missing end date in the required field. After entering the date, we submit the changes so the application can revalidate the document. The system updates the metadata and processes the file again with the newly added information. Once the update is completed, we return to the Contracts tab to verify the result. This time, the document appears correctly with all mandatory fields, including the end date. For the master supplement process, we begin by adding a supplement document to the drive. Before uploading, in Contracts tab, we found that the total contracts count was 19 and the files received count was 0. Once the supplement document file gets uploaded successfully, the files received count increases to 1, confirming that the application has received the file. After the document is processed, we check the Contracts tab to see if it appears. However, the supplement document is not found in the contracts list. This indicates that the system has flagged the file, so we move to the Workflow tab for further review. Inside the Exceptional Workflow section, we find the uploaded document listed there. The exception reason clearly states, "No master doc," which means the system could not find the required master document linked to this supplement. To resolve this exception, we go back and upload the master document to the drive. As soon as the master file is uploaded, the files received count once again becomes 1, showing that the new file has been received. After the application processes both documents, we return to the Contracts tab. This time, the total contracts count has increased from 19 to 20, confirming that the documents have been successfully processed. Now, Both the master document and the supplement document appear together in the contracts list. When we click on the master document link, we can clearly see that the supplement file is correctly attached to it. Similarly, when we open the supplement document link, the master file is also shown as attached. This confirms that both documents are now properly linked, validated, and stored.